Cilantro. Cheers.
Cilantro.
What a good time. Should
We're
probably
back.
put my do not disturb on, but I don't need to see myself anyways.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know, the notifications. We're about to have our draft soon.
I got you.
Started
Everyone's
texting, even though I
texting.
thought I muted it 3
Got
days
it.
ago.
Got it.
I don't need to know. I'm already here. I
All
knew
right.
where I was going to be.
Yeah.
So speaking of, since we're prepping for that draft and everything, figure 24 plus 1.
Yeah. And we know a lot of you probably already drafted. We're a little behind getting
No.
going again, but
If you already drafted, you don't know what you're doing.
if you haven't, yeah, you probably shouldn't have. You
A lot
do
of
the
injuries,
draft closer.
contract signings.
Yep.
All that kind of
Do-
stuff can still happen.
Do it closer to the beginning of the season.
I
Get
know-
your commissioner to do it right.
Somebody out there wish they would have drafted Jahan Dotson because now he's on the Eagles.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
He's not even being drafted. So okay, all right. So
But
here's our
Little-
24
little
plus
trades
one.
can happen. So first pick, I'll be doing 1, 3, 5. He's gonna do the 2, 4. Just who would have been picked, or you should pick if you're in that spot. So first pick, I'm gonna go McCaffrey. Even though I actually don't think he's gonna be the number one player ever. We're gonna see running backs are gonna be a commodity. So I think he actually will have a little bit of a down year.
He's the clear consensus number one right now, and as you're going to see, strategy wise, running backs are at a premium for those top tier ones. So try to get one of those early.
Yep, it's your pick.
So speaking of, and here's one of those is Brees Hall. So that's my second pick.
Great. Then I'm gonna go.
Not too much there. I
No.
mean, it's pretty clear cut. I mean, you guys all know who.
Well,
are
we
good
already prefaced.
Yeah.
So third pick is going to be CeeDee Lamb. A lot of people would have had him on number 2, maybe, but he's the number 1 receiver. Obviously, he's going to be most consistent, and 2 running backs are already off the board. So that's a good time to get your receiver.
And he is one of those that you need to watch as you get nearer to the season because he still has not shown up and signed a new contract. So, but I think he will, and you'll be fine even if he starts off slow. So, number 4, Bijan, and again, 3 out of the first 4 picks are those. That's essentially those 3 are the top tier running
I
backs.
think most of you would have a draft where he doesn't go number 3. So most of you will have a draft he doesn't go number 4.
4.
So number 5 should be able to get him. But if your people are smart, number 5 is going to get Jamar Chase. I think he's going to have the better year than Tyreek Hill. And Amon-Ra and Justin Jefferson. The top 5 are kind of all the same. CeeDee Lamb being number 1, and then I think Jamar Chase is number 2.
Yeah, I think he could take.
He'll have the second most of the receivers this year.
I think he could take Chase, Hill, or Amon-Ra
So
there.
your 6th pick
But
is
my 6 would be Tyreek Hill.
There
So, I mean, you're going to get one of those 3 in the next 3 picks.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
number 7, Amon-Ra. I think he could be the spoiler number 1.
Yep, he could easily.
Very easily.
Depending on Goff.
It's almost all just a roll of the dice
Yeah,
with your first round almost.
I think you'd be happy with those first 7.
Yes.
Clear-cut consensus top 7 to me. And then it gets a little more interesting because of the situation in Minnesota and me taking number 8, Justin Jefferson. I still think he's quarterback proof. Where
I don't. I don't.
He's proven it. Even without Cousins, he still was.
With who?
Huh?
With who? Who do you have at the beginning of his career?
Well, he had like Nick Mullins and stuff thrown to him after Cousins got hurt. So
Did he get, this is a side note, did he get like Mark Sanchez for his
No.
rookie year or something?
no.
I don't know if he had one of those.
No, he had.
Or like, I know he obviously missed Brett Favre, but I remember they had
Teddy Bridgewater, I believe, maybe.
But at least
in the
Bridgewater
beginning.
was hucking it down the field.
Nick Mullins.
Give him an opportunity.
I mean,
I don't know if he's going to have opportunity this year.
I think Jefferson and speaking of, I think Addison actually I like. Both will be
right.
just fine coming this year.
Fair enough. I think you should have gone Jonathan Taylor. So that's going to be my number 9. Running back's going to be a hot commodity. At number 9, I don't know if he's going to fall. I know he won't fall back to me, especially the way our kind of drafts go. He's not coming back around, so I got to get my running back. And I think that's the next tier, but number 1.
Yep. And speaking of, I think you could have taken Taylor or Jahmyr Gibbs in that spot. Again, getting that running back before comes back around. You could take a receiver, and if you like some of those group of running backs in that situation, if you don't want to go running back here, but I went with Jahmyr Gibbs next.
Yeah, number 10. You're getting a little closer to that guy. Probably falls to me, but I have a good shot at getting someone.
Yeah, you could get him
in the same tier.
Yeah, you could maybe get him on the turn, but
so then next, someone you wouldn't get on a turn is Garrett Wilson, number 11. I think he could be better than. Oh, I would definitely take him over Justin Jefferson. I think maybe Tyreek as well.
Yeah.
I think my prediction would be number 4 receiver.
I don't think so, but I am way bigger on Garrett Wilson this year than I was last year. I didn't like him last year, so I do like him better this year.
I don't even think it's totally a Rodgers thing. I think he's really good.
No, I think
he's really good. But there's just so many very talented receivers that he kind of slides under the radar.
Yeah. So 12 and 13, because you got back-to-back. You can go either way. It doesn't matter. I got ETN and A.J. Brown. So I think you're actually not sitting in a horrible spot if you're in that 12 and you end up with ETN and A.J. Brown.
Yeah, it's not my favorite number 1 receiver or running back. Or receiver, actually. I don't really like A.J. Brown that much.
Well,
I know I'm an Eagles fan, but maybe it's because we always hate our team. Fair enough. But he is a clear-cut number 1 on the team. He's going to get 7 catches a game for 70 yards. Minimum. Like, very, very high floor.
I would argue
not bad at all.
He might not be the number 1 in Philadelphia this year, but he is a beast, and I really like him.
Depends what you think number 1 is, but catches and targets, I think he's number 1.
I really like Devontae Smith this year.
I
really do.
Love him.
So, especially where you can get him as a value. So,
yeah.
All right.
Number 11, since you already got your receiver, I'm going to go with Pacheco. Lots of options that are going to be able to fall back to these next couple guys.
Yeah,
so.
You had gotten Garrett. You had gotten good
Getting
grammar.
gotten
Good. You got Garrett Wilson, so yeah, I see taking Pacheco as a run back. So same situation here. Got a running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, the first round. So take Puka Nacua. Hopefully he can repeat what he did last year. I would set your expectations a little lower than last year because he put it all out there last year. So are you going to get what you did?
They're definitely phasing Cup out.
But
I'm not a big Puka fan, but they're definitely phasing Cup out to do something good.
Cup just deals with a lot of injuries. So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
he is. I think Cup's like 30 years old.
The Rams as a whole team is going to be a tough call this year. Someone I'd take above both of those receivers, Brown and Puka, is Devontae Adams. He's going to have a great year. Minshew's the starter. He's slinging it. If it was Aiden O'Connell, I probably would have taken him a little lower, but because he's a 15 passes per game kind of guy, with Minshew being the starter, Adams is going to get a lot of catches and opportunity, and it doesn't matter if Minshew throws interceptions.
Yeah,
just the receiver. So
and as you said, or didn't say, he had Jonathan Taylor, so going receiver.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now we're at the Justin Jefferson pick. So running back, I put right with Pacheco, somewhere in that area. You can get Kyron Williams at this point, somewhere.
These next couple guys have to get a running back because
you're
coming back down you as your number 1.
Yeah, you're running a little low. So,
So
Jefferson and then Kyron Williams.
yeah, these are a little reach. I know Derrick Henry, my next pick, with Amon Ra, is number 24, depending on what you're looking at. And this is the 16th pick or something like that, 17. I'm not good at math. But, so it's almost a 10-spot reach, but you have to get your running back. So, Amon Ra gets Derrick Henry at number 7th pick.
18th pick.
Well, 7th. And then the other one was a guess. So,
All right. And then this one that took Tyreek the first time. Again,
more of a reach.
Now you're reaching for running backs because you need to get one at this point. So hopefully Tyreek can blow the lid off and get you big games, because now you're dealing with people like Rachaad White, who I'm taking here as your number one running back.
I don't think that's the worst thing to have Tyreek Hill, explosive 50-point game with a consistent 20, 25-point Rachaad White.
Yep. No,
I definitely think
yeah.
that is better than who Jamar Chase, number 5th or 20th pick, gets a chain. If you get Tyreek Hill, a chain's kind of coming back to you, and that's real bummer. So hopefully someone else picks him and you don't have to reach too far somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going to mention that we noticed, I had taken Tyreek and a chain, however you say that.
Is it not a chain?
It's a Chan, I think, or Chan. I don't know. They keep changing it all the time. So anyway, you don't want to stick yourself with, and I found myself in this in mock drafts doing the same thing, a receiver and a running back. Now, to stack a quarterback and receiver is one thing, but I try to stay away from running back wide receiver stacks.
Especially on a
You're
team
kind
like
of playing
the
against
Dolphins,
yourself.
Everybody is going to figure out the Dolphins this year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting their 12 wins and 50-point games. They're going to start getting figured out, and it would only take one game of having Tyreek Hill and a chain hitting a solid defense, and now you have a 70-point fantasy week, and that would blow.
Which people have talked about that, and at the end of the year when it gets colder, they go to cold weather.
Mm-hmm. Right when we're getting into playoffs.
They kind of hit a wall there at the end of the year. So, be careful with that. Next, I had taken Bijan Robinson, and this guy, Mr. Consistent, year in, year out. Mike Evans, maybe he'll fall a little bit this year, but he keeps doing it until he proves me that he's not going to do it. I used to not be a believer, but
this number
the guy
4 guy
just keeps
Mr.
going.
Consistent. Bijan and Mike Evans, that would be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Whoever ends up with Bijan and Mike Evans comes back to you, very consistent team.
Yeah.
Get some explosive receivers or something. Sorry. Holy cow.
Nice.
Well,
Cooking some chili, dropping shit, whatever.
With CD,
real sauce.
with CD Lamb, I am hoping a running back's going to come back to me. Well, I know a running back will, and so I'm going to try to get some more consistency with Olave, and I'm really going to have to coming around get a good running back.
Definitely get a running back.
There's a point with either running backs or receivers, you kind of go, well, I got my consistent 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and I'm just going to guess with the other position.
Yeah.
That's kind of where this guy is.
Yep. So this one took Breece Hall, did get a running back. So Michael Pittman's sitting there. So I like taking him. Big on him this year. I think he was really consistent last year and will continue.
I'm a little less so, but I don't think it's a bad pick.
Not at 23.
No,
So.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I don't think Pittman's going to do as good. Number 1 is now picking McCaffrey, Drake London, and your +1 Alvin Kamara. Having McCaffrey and Kamara with London as your number 1, feeling really good at that point. So,
Yeah.
And Kamara's. I just added him as a bonus because we had talked about him.
Mm-hmm.
He ended what you said 6th.
I think around 6th in our scoring.
6th last year, and he's a number. I think they have him as number 12 running back or something. And
Probably more, maybe even lower in some rankings. But
yeah, I mean, if you potentially have the number 1 and 6 running back in any league, especially McCaffrey, Kamara in a PPR,
and Kamar, the catches, the catches is what I think.
that's why we
keeps
we
him
have
up
him
there.
definitely higher.
Yeah,
but
so-
that would be an insane team. So I feel really good about that.
Yeah. So, your draft will go crazy. Someone will, maybe take a quarterback in the second round, and so you can get maybe even a better player than as we talked about and stuff. So, but good luck out there.
Someone's always going to drop, but these first 2 rounds are probably going to be the most consistent. This was just us drafting against each other,
Yep.
but you always have one person in your league.
Throws you off. Maybe a homer.
The one who doesn't
The homer
show up,
pick,
the
yeah.
one who is already passed out,
Yeah.
the one who doesn't know what football is,
Yeah.
is the invited today person.
But hey, if they pay, they play. All good.
Free money.
Free
Come on.
money. So.
Sloancha, good luck at your draft. Don't suck.